There's a secret hidden right in front of you. Symbols woven into our world, clues left in plain sight by those who understood something. Something, most of us, overlooked they were. Builders of temples, keepers of mysteries. And their legacy was never just about stone or architecture. It was a blueprint for transforming the human mind. Imagine unlocking this hidden knowledge, learning to wield the same force that shaped empires, guided by symbols that whisper of power, balance, and resurrection. This isn't just a story about the past, it's a key to your own potential, and if you stay with me, I'll show you how to read this language of the soul, to see what only a few have truly understood. But be warned, once you see it, you'll never look at the world the same way again. Imagine for a moment a builder, not just any builder, but one who is tasked with constructing a temple unlike any other. A temple that is both eternal and invisible, crafted not with stone, but with the substance of the human spirit. This is the work of the mason, and it's a symbol of each of our own journeys. The tools and the structures are metaphors for how we can build ourselves, laying a solid foundation of character and strength. Symbols like the square compass and all-seeing eye may seem mysterious, but each one holds a specific message. The square speaks of moral integrity, guiding our choices. The compass reminds us to seek balance and measure in all things, and the all-seeing eye, it represents the watchful awareness that one must cultivate, learning to see the unseen, to understand the invisible patterns that shape our lives. But these symbols are more than isolated images together. They create a grand design. They are a call to action, a challenge to each of us to awaken, to see past the mundane, and to step into a higher understanding of our purpose and potential. The Masons called it the journey of the builder, but it's a path meant for all who dare to follow it in this video. We're not just decoding symbols, we're taking that journey ourselves, learning the wisdom that lies at the heart of the Masonic tradition. And as we move forward, we'll see how this symbolic language guides the builder through one of the most mysterious and powerful transformations in existence. And so we begin with the builder's journey, a path that reveals the struggle, purpose, and resilience necessary to bring light to darkness and meaning to chaos. Let's step into the story in the legends of Masonic tradition. This builder is called to create a masterpiece, but he faces an unusual challenge. He must build without the familiar sounds of hammer and chisel, without the guidance of voices around him. This is no ordinary construction. It is a temple of the mind and soul, made only from his own inner resources, patience, and vision. Every layer, every part of this temple is a piece of himself, his beliefs, his values, his experiences. And with each stone he lays, he inches closer to understanding his purpose, his true self. But as with any journey worth taking, he encounters obstacles. 3 forces confront him: thought, emotion, and action. These 3 are powerful allies, yet dangerous foes, for they each have the power to shape or destroy. Thought represents his mind, the endless stream of ideas and questions that guide him forward or cloud his vision. Emotion is the force of feeling deep and consuming that drives his passion, but can easily lead him astray. And action, his will in motion, determines whether his intentions will take form or falter together. These 3 forces test him, shaping the outcome of his work and ultimately his character. At first, these forces betray him. Thought becomes twisted into doubt. Emotion descends into unchecked desire, and action becomes reckless, almost destructive. His creation, the very temple he is building, seems to crumble, but the builder does not give up. He knows that if he is to succeed, he must learn to master these forces, to align them so they work in harmony. He must learn to guide his thoughts with clarity, temper his emotions with wisdom, and channel his actions with purpose. Only then can he continue his work and fulfill the call that brought him here. This story is more than an allegory. It's a reminder that each of us in our own lives is that builder. We're all constructing something meaningful, piecing together our identities, our dreams, our beliefs. We all face the forces of thought, emotion, and action, and like the builder, we are called to bring them into balance. Thought without clarity leads to confusion. Emotion without restraint becomes chaotic, and action without purpose can tear down what we've worked so hard to build. And so the journey of the builder is also the journey of self-mastery. It's about finding strength and resilience, about knowing that each challenge is part of the process. Just as a sculptor must chip away at stone to reveal a form, we must confront our own rough edges, the unpolished parts of ourselves, to bring forth something extraordinary. The Masonic legend tells us that the builder eventually reaches a breaking point. He's faced betrayal, hardship, even isolation, but in this moment he makes a choice. A choice to forgive, to continue, and to trust the process. He understands that the tools he was given, the very same that nearly destroyed him, are in fact the keys to his own evolution. It is only through struggle, through learning to wield these tools with skill and intention, that he can bring forth the temple within himself. In Masonic tradition, this story of the builder is also a story of resurrection. The builder who once struggled alone becomes the master who has risen above. He is reborn not through miracles or divine intervention, but through his own dedication to the journey he has learned to create, to shape, and ultimately to transcend. Now let's look closer at the symbols guiding him, guiding us to master this path, and reveal the deeper meaning that lies in light and shadow, in the language of symbols, and in the timeless process of building a temple that stands not on earth but within light and darkness. Two forces that have captured human imagination. Since the dawn of time in Masonic tradition, these forces are more than mere opposites. They represent the fundamental tensions within us all: ignorance and knowledge, chaos and order, blindness and sight. But what if these two, rather than being enemies, were necessary companions on the path to understanding ourselves? Imagine standing alone in darkness. At first there's fear, discomfort, the sense of being lost, but then a single flame appears. A light in the void. That light represents knowledge, awareness, the beginning of vision. Yet the Masons teach us that light is meaningful only because of darkness. It is only in darkness that light can truly shine in this way. Darkness symbolizes not merely the unknown, but a fertile ground, a place of potential, of possibility waiting to be awakened. Consider how often we in our own lives turn away from darkness, whether it's difficult experiences, painful memories, or uncertainties about the future. We are taught to fear what we don't understand. But within the Masonic framework, this darkness is where we begin. The void, as it's called, is the blank canvas on which we paint our inner worlds in facing our own darkness. We begin the work of shaping ourselves, of bringing clarity to the things we once chose to ignore or hide away. In Masonic art, we see the builder cloaked in a blue robe crowned with golden light. Here, blue represents wisdom, a calm, steady presence amidst mystery, and gold symbolizes enlightenment, the light of insight that pierces through ignorance. This builder stands at the boundary between light and darkness, learning to work with both. He knows that light reveals, but it is in darkness where transformation begins. But light and darkness are more than metaphors. They are tools. The Masons teach that by embracing both forces, we gain a fuller picture of ourselves. Darkness is not merely something to conquer. It is something to understand, to work with the hidden aspects of our minds. The parts we often overlook hold valuable lessons. We are called to bring our light, our awareness into these places, to navigate them with courage and curiosity rather than fear. Yet there is a risk. The builder learns that too much light can be as blinding as darkness in a world flooded with information, endless distractions, and external expectations. It's easy to be overwhelmed, to lose sight of what truly matters. So the task is balanced: to cultivate light without losing oneself, to illuminate without overshadowing. As the builder progresses, he realizes that light is not an external force, but something within it grows from understanding, from resilience, from the willingness to confront one's own shadows. And it is this inner light that guides him forward, a steady beacon amidst uncertainty, showing him the path even when all seems dark. So what does this mean for us? To work with light and darkness is to recognize that each experience, each challenge, holds a hidden lesson, a piece of the puzzle that makes up who we are. The Masonic builder teaches us that real growth comes not from avoiding difficulty, but from embracing it. The light we seek is not out there. It is something we cultivate, something we bring forth as we move. To the next part, we will delve deeper into how the Masons use the symbol of the stairway, a path of mastery and understanding to guide the builder through the worlds of light and darkness. This journey is one of constant ascent, one step at a time, where each step reveals a new layer of meaning, of purpose, and of self. In the Masonic tradition, there are three forces that shape every person's journey, three pillars that are essential for human development. These are thought, emotion, and action. Imagine them as the foundational supports of a great temple, each one necessary to keep it standing, each one influencing the integrity and balance of the structure. But these are no ordinary pillars. They are the very forces that guide our lives. Shaping who we are and how we interact with the world around us. Thought is the first pillar, representing the mind, the endless realm of ideas, beliefs, questions, and insights. Thought is our inner voice, the lens through which we perceive reality. It can guide us toward truth or distract us with illusion. The Masons teach us that to master thought, we must learn to discipline our minds to seek clarity over chaos and to focus on the ideas that uplift rather than those that mislead. Thought is a powerful creator, shaping the world through the beliefs we hold and the perspectives we adopt when used with intention. FA builds us up, constructing a mental framework that supports our growth, but left untamed, it becomes a labyrinth, trapping us in endless loops and doubts. The second pillar is emotion. Emotion is the heart of experience, the driving force of passion, empathy, and connection. It is through emotion that we feel alive, that we are moved by beauty, love, and purpose. But emotion is also the source of our greatest challenges: anger, jealousy, fear, and desire in the journey of self-mastery. The Masons teach that we must learn to harness emotion to guide it rather than be controlled by it. This doesn't mean suppressing our feelings, rather it means channeling them in ways that serve us, recognizing when they uplift us and when they may lead us astray. Emotion, when mastered, becomes a powerful ally, propelling us forward with conviction and compassion. Yet when it controls us, it can be as destructive as any physical force, tearing down everything we've worked to build. Finally, there is action. Action is where thought and emotion come together in the physical world. It's the pillar that gives form to our ideas, that makes our intentions real. In the Masonic journey, action is not merely doing it, is purposeful, deliberate, and aligned with the highest principles it requires: courage, discipline, and the understanding that every action, no matter how small, has an impact. When thought and emotion are balanced, action becomes a natural expression of who we are, a means of shaping the world in alignment with our deepest values. But when they are not in harmony, action can become reckless or hollow, disconnected from our true intentions. These three pillars, thought, emotion, and action, work together to create balance within us. Thought without emotion becomes cold and calculating, disconnected from life's richness. Emotion without thought becomes impulsive and uncontrolled, led by fleeting desires. And without action, even the most profound thoughts and feelings remain unrealized, mere shadows of what could be. In the Masonic allegory, the builder learns that his journey is one of integrating these three forces. It is not enough to be wise, one must also be compassionate. It is not enough to feel deeply, one must also act with purpose. And it is not enough to act, one must do so with clarity and insight. This balance is what makes the builder whole, what turns an individual's scattered pieces into a cohesive, meaningful life. But mastering these is no simple task. It requires vigilance and patience. Thought, emotion, and action are constantly in flux, responding to the world around us, shaped by our experiences and choices. Each day we are challenged to bring them into alignment, to create harmony out of chaos. This is the essence of self-mastery, not a single achievement, but a daily practice of refinement, of checking in with ourselves and adjusting as needed. And so each of us stands as our own builder, entrusted with the responsibility of balancing these pillars within our own lives. It's a task that demands awareness, resilience, and humility. The Masons teach us that by refining these three pillars, we don't just shape ourselves, we shape the world around us. For when we live in balance, we bring balance to everything we touch as we move forward. We'll see how these three forces are reflected in Masonic symbols, guiding us to create a life that is not only strong but meaningful. Join me as we climb the stairway of mastery, learning how thought, emotion, and action become steps on the path to personal transformation. In Masonic tradition, the image of a stairway holds a profound significance. It's more than a simple path from one level to the next. It's a journey of mastery, a progression through stages of understanding and growth. Each step is a symbol, a challenge to be overcome, a lesson to be learned. The stairway invites the builder to ascend, to elevate his mind and spirit, moving closer to wisdom. With each step, the stairway begins at ground level, where two great pillars stand, symbols of the duality of existence. They represent light and dark, order and chaos, the seen and the unseen. To take the first step, the builder must acknowledge this duality, understanding that life is a balance of opposites. This is the foundation on which everything else is built. Without this foundation, the journey upward would be impossible. By moving between the poles of life, the builder gains strength and insight. As he advances upward, he encounters a series of 7 steps, each representing a fundamental area of human knowledge: grammar, rhetoric, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. In the Masonic tradition, these disciplines are not merely academic, but steps on the spiritual path. Grammar and rhetoric teach him to understand and express himself clearly so that he can express his truth. Logic and arithmetic sharpen his mind and refine his ability to think critically and solve problems. Geometry and astronomy connect him to the order of the universe and reveal the beauty and precision of creation. Then there is music, a language that speaks directly to the soul and reminds him of the harmony and rhythm of the unseen forces that guide all life. Each of these disciplines serves as a tool for shaping the builder's mind and spirit. They are steps of refinement that teach him to organize his thoughts, beauty in his words, and purpose in his actions. The Masons believe that mastery in these areas prepares one not only to understand the world, but also to transcend it, to realize a higher reality that lies beyond the physical. But the staircase does not end here. After the 7 steps, the builder encounters another series of 5 steps representing the senses of sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. These are his tools for perceiving the world to experience life in all its richness. However, he learns that the senses are double-edged. They can both reveal and deceive. Sight may show him beauty, but it can also blind his sight. Hearing may bring wisdom, but it can also lead him astray. The lies that the Masons teach must be mastered and refined so that they serve the builder's higher purpose, rather than distract him from it. Then, as he ascends further, he finds 3 final steps, symbols of the ancient Trinity that runs through countless spiritual traditions. They represent 3 aspects of the self: body, mind, and spirit. These 3 are the final balance, the culmination of the journey. They remind the builder that although he is a physical being, he is also mind and spirit.